Hello and welcome to the FM Scout YouTube channel and welcome back to Tactic Tuesday. I'm Curty FM and in this episode we're going to be looking at Alex Ferguson's Man United team, but more specifically the 1999 Treble winning team. Before we get into today's video however, I'd like to invite you over to my channel Curty FM. I'm currently running a save with my beloved Aldershot Town. If you come over, check it out. If you like what you see, maybe drop a cheeky sub, that would be awesome. But on to the main event, let's talk about the 99 treble winning team. Now, even though I'm from Surrey, I'm not a Man United fan. But even I can appreciate what a great side the 99 treble winning team were. I watched a lot of them that year. My dad is actually a United fan. He's also from Surrey, so, kind of makes sense. But it's fair to say they played some absolutely fantastic football back in the day. They had such a fantastic midfield. Giggs, Keane, Scholes, Beckham on the right, and even their backup, Nicky Butt, really underrated player. Obviously the fullbacks, Gary Neville, Dennis Irwin, just overlapping on the wings, and then up front, he could pick from any of the four of York, Cole, Solskjaer and Sheringham. I do believe that it was Alex Ferguson's greatest team. Some of you might argue with that, some Man United fans might disagree, but you can't argue with their success. As is Tactic Tuesday tradition, try saying that 3 times fast, let's start looking at some of the key elements of this 1999 treble winning team. The first thing we need to note is that this team played fast, direct, attacking football. They were all action, in your face. Yes, they could defend, but their primary focus was getting the ball forward, getting it down the wings and getting crosses into the two strikers. Which brings us on to the next element. This team utilised overlapping fullbacks really effectively. Neville and Irwin bombing on down the wings, beyond Giggs and Beckham, caused so many problems for opposition defences. The only issue with recreating this tactic for this particular team is that there are some elements that are impossible to recreate in Football Manager. Obviously, this team had a never say die attitude. The amount of late goals that this team scored that year, especially, partly due to the on-field leadership of Roy Keane, but just the fact that they were just a bunch of mates essentially playing football together, is something that's impossible to recreate in Football Manager. Okay, so we've talked about the key elements, we've talked about the players, let's actually have a look at the tactic now. So this is the tactic and the roles that I have settled on in my attempt to recreate the 99 treble winning team. Let's take a look at the team instructions first. We've gone with an attacking mentality. Just going back to what I was saying during the key elements, this team played fast attacking football. They did have the ability to counter-attack as well, but more often than not they were just in your faces from the start. Team shape, we've gone fluid, just because I think it gives players that little bit more creative freedom, which I feel like this team had. Tempo is normal. I could have gone a higher tempo, but on attacking, by default the tempo is pretty high anyway, so I've left it on normal. Width, we're playing wide. Width is very important in this formation. We want to get those wide players on the ball as much as possible, get the fullbacks overlapping and get crosses into the box. The defensive line I've left normal, closing down just sometimes. We're using tighter marking, so on an attacking mentality it's quite an aggressive mentality anyway, so we're going to be closing down a relatively large amount, even on sometimes. So using tighter marking, making sure that when we're pressing we're marking players off the ball to make sure we can try and win it back. The passing, we're clearing the ball to the flanks, again just tying in with that, getting the ball wide. We're passing into space, we're trying to pick holes in defences. Beckham used to get the ball, ping it into space and try and get in behind opposition defences. Passing directness, I've left it on mixed, could have gone more direct, but United had the ability to keep possession of the ball as well. They weren't just always pinging it long down the lines. In attack, we're looking for the overlap. Like I say, we want our fullbacks to get beyond our wingers, get to the byline, get crosses into the box. We've left it on mixed crosses, and we've told the players that they can roam from positions. So it's worth pointing out now that this United team are nothing like the 99 treble winning team. I have put the roles as they would be in 1999. However, if I wanted to play this tactic with this particular team, I think what I would probably end up doing is reversing the wide players. So Luke Shaw, instead of being on a fullback support, i.e. the Irwin role, I'd probably have him fullback attack. Mkhitaryan on the left, I'd probably be playing him in the Beckham role. Obviously Beckham played on the right. However, I would be playing Mkhitaryan as a wide midfielder from the left-hand side, because Valencia, even though he's nothing like Ryan Giggs, is more of an out-and-out winger a la Ryan Giggs. However, for the purposes of this video, I have put the players in the positions that they would have been in 1999. So let's start in goal. David De Gea, or Peter Schmeichel, as it would have been. He's just a standard goalkeeper, but we have asked him to throw it long, distribute the ball to the flanks, and distribute the ball quickly. If you ever saw Peter Schmeichel in 1999, or around that period at all, he'd get the ball and he'd be looking to get rid of it as soon as possible. Obviously, he had an amazing long throw on him. United utilised that to get their attack started quickly. Moving to the right back, Gary Neville's it would have been. Obviously today we're playing Matteo Darmian. He is a fullback in an attacking role. We're asking him to get to the byline. We're asking him to stay wider, and he's going to try and get the ball into the box as much as possible. On the opposite side, left back, just a bog standard fullback support. Dennis Irwin did get beyond Ryan Giggs a fair amount. Obviously with the team instructions asking the fullbacks to overlap, he's going to do that naturally. But we haven't added any additional instructions to his role. The two centre-backs, I mean, we could have gone for a stopper-cover combination. Chris Smalling in the Jaap Stam role, playing as a stopper. Bailly probably in the Henningberg or Ronnie Johnson role, playing as a covering defender. However, I've left them as bog-standard central defenders. What I have done, though, is Bailly on the left-hand side. We've asked him to close down slightly less. Obviously, in an attacking mentality, it's quite an aggressive mentality. So we want our central defenders, or certainly one of our central defenders, to just close down less. We're also asking him to mark tighter and pass it shorter. On the other side, Chris Smalling has almost identical instructions. All we've removed is to close down less, because he, even though he is a normal central defender, he is effectively acting as our slightly more aggressive one. Onto midfield. On the right hand side, we've got Valencia on the right, but this is the David Beckham role. Now Valencia isn't particularly equipped at playing this role, so bear that in mind. But we've just put him as a wide midfielder support. We want him to cross from deep, as Beckham often did, and we want him to play more risky passes. Beckham obviously was superb at picking out balls from deep, and getting balls quickly into the front two. Alongside him in the Paul Scholes role, we've got Paul Pogba playing as a roaming playmaker. There's an argument to play him as an advanced playmaker. However, for sort of tactical solidarity, we left him on as a roaming playmaker. He'll still look to get forward, but also will cover the central midfielder playing alongside him should he vacate his position. So I feel like this role suits him best. Alongside him in the Roy Keane role, the box-to-box midfielder. Roy Keane, back in '99, was the epitome of a box-to-box midfielder. Obviously later in his career, he lost his legs a little bit and started sitting a bit more. Maybe you could argue he could have been a ball-winning midfielder, but I feel like at this point in his career, 1999, he was a true box-to-box midfielder, looking to support attacks, but also getting his foot in when they were defending. On the left-hand side, we've just got a standard winger attack. That is Ryan Giggs down to a T. Dribble more, run wide with the ball, cross from the byline, get further forward, stay wide. I mean, that's just the Ryan Giggs role to a T. Also worth noting, Mkhitaryan, very good player, but not Ryan Giggs, and certainly not a left winger in the same mould as Ryan Giggs. Right, up front. Now, these roles can be up for debate, and if you feel like I've got any of these wrong, to be fair, but especially the striker roles, if you feel like I've got any of these wrong, feel free to drop it in the comments section below. This is always an open debate, and I'm always up to be scrutinised and have a discussion about it. So if you've got any comments, anything you disagree with, just drop it in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you and have the debate. We've done it in all the previous Tactic Tuesday videos, so I'm sure this will be no different. However, in the deep-lying forward role, probably the Dwight York or Teddy Sheringham role, we've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and we have added no additional instructions. York or Sheringham definitely tended to drop deep and link play between the strikers and the midfield. So a deep lying forward role, I think, suits it best. Alongside him, and I've gone for a complete forward attacking role. Now, some of you might disagree with this. I think a lot of people regard Andy Cole as a poacher, certainly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but we're saying Andy Cole. I think Cole and York were their starting strike partnership. So Andy Cole, I think, not so much in his Newcastle days, but when he moved to United, he became much more of a complete striker. He was able to drop off the line, he was able to hold up the ball, plus obviously he could spearhead the attack and finish off moves. So I've gone for a complete forward attacking role. Some of you may disagree with that, but like I say, open the debate, we'll have a chat about it. Okay, so that's the tactic in all its glory. That is my interpretation of the 99 treble winning team tactic. Like I say, not suited to this United team whatsoever. However, as in previous Tactic Tuesday videos, we've set the tactic and simmed forward to a point in the season. You can see by the date in the right hand side that I've simmed forward to New Year's Eve in the first season. So let's see how the tactic has performed. We're going to start with how it performed in Europe, and okay, admittedly we had quite an easy group. Feyenoord, Young Boys and Vorskla, I think from Hungary. However, you can only beat what's in front of you, and we did pretty well. We won every single group game, topping the group comfortably, and we were excellent in the process, scoring a lot of goals, conceding a few, but you'd expect that with an attacking mentality. The Euro Cup isn't where the main focus is. We need to go and have a look and see how the team have performed in the Premier League. And I can tell you, it's been a mixed bag. As you can see, we started off with a 1-1 draw away to Watford, beat Burnley, lost to Arsenal, which is obviously a big game to lose. Chelsea 4-3, West Ham 4-2, Sunderland 4-0. So we're scoring a lot of goals at this point. But then comes the bad run. Lose to Tottenham, beat Liverpool, obviously huge rivalry, getting a last minute goal. And then we went on a terrible run of games. So losing 5-2 at home to Man City, never a good thing. Bournemouth losing away 4-3, Southampton 3-1, West Brom 2-1. I mean, it's picked up again in December. Obviously, they're undefeated in December, playing some of the smaller teams, Swansea, Everton, Hull, Palace, Leicester and Borough. But you can see just how many goals they are scoring with this tactic. So, given that I've simmed forward to this point in the season, I think if you were managing the games yourself and you took an active role to actually manage the games and the situation within the games, I think this tactic could be quite successful. In the league table, we're currently third, but top scorers in the league, okay, we've conceded a lot. We've conceded 31 goals in 19 games, which is far too many. However, bear in mind that I have simmed forward to this point, so the tactic has been left on attacking. Even if we're a goal ahead with 10 minutes to go, the tactic has been left on attacking. We are slightly vulnerable to conceding later on in games. In terms of player performances, Anthony Martial is having the season of his life. He is absolutely loving playing as the complete forward attack in this tactic. You can see he's top scorer in the league with 17 goals, has the best average rating in the league, has 7 assists, so he's one behind being top of the assist table. He's got the most player of the matches with 5, one ahead of Eriksen and Willian. And yeah, he's having such a good season playing in that role. Just wanted to take a look at the team and where we're scoring, where we're conceding goals. So this is the assist location page. As you can see, we are getting a lot of goals from that left-hand side. I'd have liked slightly more from the right-hand side, but we're getting our fair share from the left-hand side. 24 goals from crosses from the left-hand side. We're conceding quite a few down our right-hand side and not scoring very many. So that might be something to address. However, the fullback on that right-hand side is slightly more attacking. So we'd expect to concede probably a few more down that right-hand side. Okay, let's look at a few examples of the tactic and its similarities to how the 1999 team played. This first goal is a Martial goal in our 4-2 win over West Ham. Now this just highlights the direct, fast, attacking football and how the United team of that time had the ability to counter at such pace, and also the link-up play between the two strikers. So West Ham have a free kick here. I'll let it run on. Pyatt's about to take the free kick. They just knock it short. It gets cleared. Smalling does well. Bailly has it. Luke Shaw completes the clearance. And now Martial wins it there. Now, Schneidlin playing in the Roy Keane role. You can just imagine Roy Keane doing this. Charging through the back of Lanzini. Winning the ball back for his team. He wins it to Rooney. A la Dwight York. And the link-up play between the strikers is great. Just with that ball into space over the top of the defence for Martial to run onto. So Rooney has it, plays it onto Martial, and that's a lovely finish from Martial or Andy Cole, however you want to look at it. Okay, this one's a nice example of the overlapping fullbacks. We've got the ball here in central midfield. As you can see, Vorskler are lined up pretty defensively. We're going to need to use the width of the pitch to try and get around them. So Herrera has it. He knocks it into Schneidlin, who goes wide to Mkhitaryan, and straight away you can see Luke Shaw's made a really good overlapping run. Mkhitaryan with a great reverse ball, first time cross, and Rooney comes in at the near post to tuck it away. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Admittedly, this tactic has not been as successful as a couple of the other ones that we've done in this series. However, I do believe that it's got the makings of a good tactic. If you get the right players for the right roles, I feel like we could be onto a winner. A little bit of in-game management wouldn't go amiss as well. So maybe when you're 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go, or 5-4 up when you're 10 minutes to go, as this tactic seems to be, maybe go a bit more defensive for the last 10 minutes, see if you can see out the game. If you haven't already been, head on over to the FM Scout website. It's a great website. There's loads of stuff over there to enhance your Football Manager experience. You've got graphics downloads, tactical advice, loads of stuff for you. So it really is a good website. Go and check it out. Like I say, I've been Curti FM. Feel free to head on over to my channel. Come and see what we're doing with Aldershot. If you like what you see, drop a cheeky sub. That would be fantastic. However, until next Tuesday, that's all from me. I'll see you next time. Ta-ta for now.